शलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are doing the third unit of Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday we discussed about the questions asked by Arjuna. 6 things Arjuna was asking: Prakritim, Purusham, Jnanam, Geyam, Kshetram, Kshetragya. So Krishna has explained about Kshetra and Kshetragya, and other things he is going to explain. So now he also mentioned that the field of activity is basically 24 elements, because this body is made up of 24 elements. This subtle body and gross body, all this material composition. And then there is the interaction also between the living and dead. So that interaction also is there, which includes one's desire, one's happiness, one's distress, sukh dukh, feelings. So all these are also interactions, and these are material actually. They are not spiritual. So we discussed about that, and now the 8 to 12 shloka, which Krishna is explaining the question fifth, the Jnanam. See, so in this shloka, the Jnanam and Geyam, which was asked by Arjuna in the beginning. So now the Jnanam will be explained in this shloka. So Jnanam, generally, it appears to be something like abstract thing. Jnanam means or some knowledge, not some gross thing. It appears many times. But here Krishna is explaining knowledge as a quality. Knowledge as a quality. So how knowledge is a quality? So that is explained in these verses. So we'll recite this. अमानित्वम् अदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा शान्तिरार्जवम् आचार्योपासनं शौचं स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रह इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदार गृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्य योगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्त देश सेवित्वम् अर्तेर्जन संसिधि अध्यात्म ज्ञानम नित्यत्वम तत्व ज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम एतत् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम अज्ञानम यद अतो अन्यथा. Krishna is explaining that what is jnana, etat jnanam iti proktam. This is a jnanam which I am mentioning, amanitvam, beginning with amanitvam, and then tattva jnanartha darshanam. Till this end, 20 elements Krishna is explaining here. So these 20 elements are the elements of knowledge. And whatever else is there apart from it is ajnanam. Ajnanam yad ato anyatha. Anything other than this is called ajnanam. Yes. Now who will lead? Some Mataji can lead. Who is there? Devotees are requested to open the videos because we do not know who is there, who is not there. Hare Krishna. So, Swarnmai Gaurangi Mataji is there. Swarnmai Gaurangi Mataji there? Not there. Gurmeet Mataji is there? Not there. Jyoti Mataji is there? Not there. They're busy somewhere else. Okay, Deepika Mataji, you can read.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the object of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. Even mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these are declared to be the knowledge, and beside this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
So the Prakriti has a two component. One is Vidya, one is called Avidya. So the Vidya is this, what is mentioned, all these things. These elements are called Vidya. So Vidya helps a living entity to attain mode of goodness. Vidya cannot help living entity to attain God. One should understand. Vidya, because Maya cannot help living entity attain God, or living entity have a realization of God. No. Maya can only help living entity to get released from her clutches. That much only Maya can do. Bhakti Devi or internal potency has to help the living entity to know the God. Maya cannot help. Maya can only just remove the ignorance. Okay, now your soul. But soul cannot know God unless he has done bhakti. He has accepted bhakti process. Surrender to the Lord. He cannot know. Otherwise, Jnani should automatically know. But they are not knowing. They are Brahma Mukta. They are not in clutches of Maya. Then why they are not knowing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead? His pastimes, his Naam, Gun, Rupa, Leela, because they have not done bhakti. So Maya has a knowledge and ignorance. These two component Maya has. So through knowledge, Maya helps living entity to attain liberation, freedom from material attachments or clutches of Maya. Okay, that thing is there. So these all elements which you see here, it all of them, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that what is the most important is Mai Chananya Yogena Bhakti Abhivicharini. So here comes the transcendence. Yeah. So Krishna is not explaining some qualities, rough qualities, only qualities, but he's mentioning constant and unalloyed devotion to me. This is also a knowledge. Constant and unalloyed devotion to me. This is knowledge. Krishna is saying. So this is a devotional service. So we'll read now. So the process of knowledge is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent man as being the interaction of field of activity. But actually, this is a real process of knowledge. If one accepts this process, then possibility of approaching the absolute truth exists. This is not the interaction of the 24 elements as described before. This is actually the means to get out of the entanglement of those elements. The embodied soul is entrapped by the body, which is causing which is casing made of 24 elements. And the process of knowledge is described here is a means to get out of it. Of all the description of the process of knowledge, the most important point is described in the first line of 11th verse is Mai Chananya Yogena Bhakti Ravivicharini. This is the most important element of knowledge or process of knowledge, you can say. The process of knowledge dominates in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So if one does not approach or is not able to approach the transcendental service of the Lord, then the other 19 items are of no particular value. Just see, they are no particular value. They mention. So the end of knowledge is Mai Chananya, or establishing oneself into devotional service. Earlier also we have seen that bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabh. So one, after so many lifetimes, he understands Vasudeva is everything, and then he surrenders to Vasudeva. It means he is situated in unalloyed devotional service. Then that is a perfection of knowledge after so many lifetimes. So knowledge is, which we learned yesterday. Knowledge, we saw, what is the knowledge? Atma, Paramatma or super soul, and this world. One who knows about these three things, then that is knowledge. We saw yesterday. Now the end of knowledge is what? End of knowledge is to situate in oneself in bhakti. Service to the Lord. Pure devotional service. Loving devotional service. So like that. Or here it mentioned the transcendental service of the Lord. So at one place also, the Vedic rituals like Yagya, Dana, Tapa, all these things are mentioned to purify the living entity gradually, to bring him to the platform of liberation. Okay. So, and after liberation is devotional service, correct? So, if living entity only follows such processes, Yagya, Dana, Tapa, to not even to get liberated, to just fulfill his materialistic desire, then Prabhupada says they are simply the moral codes. They are moral codes. Like people say ना, तो हमें सुबह उठना चाहिए, हमें सुबह नहाना, उठ के नहाना चाहिए, हमें बड़ों को सम्मान करना चाहिए, हमें दान देना चाहिए, हमें यज्ञ करना. So these are like moral codes. Like in a school they teach na, to small children, before eating food you should wash your hand, and then after eating food you should again wash your hand, and then you should not sneeze anywhere. You should sneeze in your handkerchief. Then what they say? You should sleep early, wake up early. These are some moral codes. Basically, these are some rules, regulations for hygiene, for regulation in life. Yes, in a similar way, Vedas may provide some moral codes. So, what is the goal of all such things? Jnanam is your giving, but what is the end of the knowledge? Where the knowledge should lead a person to? The knowledge should lead a person to surrender. Tarka, the logic should not be holding a person to become proud. Oh, I know so many best logics. I can defeat best logicians also. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his early days, he was Nimai Pandit. Everybody used to fear because of the best logician. And then Srivas Thakur used to say, what is the use of your logic? Why don't you surrender to Krishna? You are just fighting with other people in the grammatical logic. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nima, he used to say, one day by your mercy, I will become a great Vaishnava. He used to say like that. And surely, he is the Lord himself. That was his pastime, where he was Pandit Siromani. But he was quite proud. So Lord's pride is also very appreciated and worshipped. The Lord was proud. So Lord, everything is worshipped actually. In Lord, there cannot be any you can say blemish. Even the Lord may be doing certain things for certain reason, but there cannot be any blemish. So if you hear Chaitanya Bhagavatam, you will find that even the Lord was doing so many pranks. He was becoming proud. He was naughty, but it was pleasing to the heart of many people. It was pleasing because he is a different personality actually. Even though he may do certain things wrong, but it will be pleasing to people who know, who are attached to him and who know about him actually. Yes, for demons though anyway, Lord is never pleasing because that is their own understanding. So here it's mentioned, one does not approach or is not able to approach the transcendental service of the Lord, then other 19 items are of no particular value. So therefore, values cannot be without devotional service. Values which we teach, schools they want nowadays values, moral values without God, without religion. How can moral values become without religion or without surrender to God? Then that means knowledge is there, but goal of knowledge is missing. One is having knowledge, but their goal of knowledge is missing. So now the people want secular countries, secular schools, secular institutes, just teach children values. If you go and then discuss with principals and teachers, we want to give values, they will 100% agree. Yes, yes, today children are very, very uh, unruly and they do not listen to anyone. It is dire need in society that they should be taught values. Please teach. But when you go and tell the goal of values is Krishna consciousness, hey, no, 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 no. What you're doing, this is the wrong thing. This you should not do. Not make them Krishna conscious. Like one principal, the devotees they went and said, we are going to conduct value education contest in your school. Hmm. So then the madam said, okay, after doing that, what you're going to do? So so the devotee said that, oh, they will be connected to value education classes, regular classes. Oh, then danger, danger, danger. After they get connected to regular classes means then the wrong will happen. So then the principal started telling, oh, my one of my friend son, he got diverted and then he joined ISKCON or whatever, something. So many times people fear actually. So devotee said that actually such kind of people are very rare. Do not worry. इतना फास्ट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं होता सबके जीवन में. आप आप चिंता मत करो. तो then, but still she was fearful. Okay, this is almost to some extent good, means not so bad, but some places they want values from non-religious person, professional persons. So what a professional person has to do with the values, because he does not know the goal of values. So here it's mentioned that all the values, all the knowledge is ultimately to establish one in devotional service. But if one takes to devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, the other 19 items automatically develops within. This is the knowledge. This is the knowledge. What is knowledge? All items will automatically develop if one is Krishna Ek Saranam. If one is dedicated to Krishna consciousness, then only good qualities will develop. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yashyast Bhaktir Bhagavat Akinchana Sarvair Guna Tatta Samasate Sura. Many times it is seen, like sometimes devotees also speak many, many lies. Like one temple devotee is called to another temple devotee. Prabhu? Yeah, yes, Prabhu. We found your temple poster in some school where your name was written or say phone number was there. You have conducted some contest in that school because that area belongs to our temple. I don't remember which year. Which year? We never conducted. But Prabhu, your phone number is there exactly, and your whole everything is there, all details. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, yeah, we had done it. We had done it. We have done it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we have done it. Okay, okay. What was the response? Oh, sorry, we did not give them certificates. We did not give them prizes. So I think they were not very happy with us. They're not very happy with us. So it was not very good. We distributed many books, but not very. We could not end in a proper way. Okay, 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 Prabhu. So sometimes devotees also, they fear other devotees. Uh, and both should be compassionate to each other. It's not that like it's a one family only. Sometimes one family can come to other family and do something without asking. It's not a big deal. ठीक है आपने किया लेकिन झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. And then speaking another lies that, oh, we did not give certificate, we did not give, just to make a feeling that we gone in loss, so it is not a very good deal we could do with the schools. तो ये सोच मतलब ये भी दूसरा झूठ बोलना कि you did not get much appreciation. You have distributed prizes, everyone knows, but still you're saying a lie. So that kind of thing should not happen among devotees, actually. Krishna ek Sharanam does not mean, again, one should surrender to Krishna and await whatever wrong and right comes in one's life, actually. This is a Krishna ek Sharanam also. Hmm. So, so everything devotional service will bring, but we have to do devotional service in a proper understanding. This is also important. Like sometimes karmis, they may speak the truth, but devotees may speak the lie. So devotee should understand, no, I am Krishna's devotee. I am surrender to spiritual master. I have done some wrong thing. So I have to accept that thing. I have to accept responsibility. So that much a dignity a devotee should also have. Sometimes Prabhupada say, ye na kena prakare na, who can group distribute books, distribute books. Anyway, just distribute books. Actually, such principles is a contextual. It should not be taken as eternal instructions. And it should not be taken as a instructions to grow our society. No. Many times we have to deal with the people properly. We cannot just be like doing all the kind of things and then we still be called devotees. No, we should also take care. Some places, okay, sometimes somebody can do that, but it should not be law कि कैसे भी बुक बांटो कुछ भी बोल के बांटो जैसे like somebody ask oh I have a this problem that problem is it given in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it's given in Bhagavad Gita, just take it, it will solve all the problems. And then the person takes and then he finds reading there's nothing is like that. So okay, that is little cheating, but he's reading Bhagavad Gita, he can continue. But again, such kind of tactics should not become our regular tactics to cheat others. So that person was cheated to some extent. Some great person may come or big materialist may come, he may get cheated in more greater way. So then these people may not feel good actually. So we should also worry about that. We should not be just simply pushing on the books, le lo, books, le lo, चाहे कुछ भी बोलो. So then the people are saying, what kind of quality you are developing actually. You are distributing books, but what kind of quality you are developing. You should also be genuine person. So again, it is not said that you should be like Satyavadi or Harish Chandra, speaking all the things truth. No. Again, it is not said that you speak everything like और यू जस्ट अंडरस्टूड कि बस मेरे को बुक बांटना है चाहे मैं कैसे भी करूं चाहे गलत से करूं सही से करूं मैं कोई मतलब नहीं let me distribute books. No, this is not the principle. This should not happen. Again, this is not a principle. Sometimes Prabhupada's instructions are taken out of context. Out of context means Prabhupada ने कभी बोला है Prabhupada might be very happy and he said okay distribute books as ever जो भी चाहिए करो जैसे भी. लेकिन अगर प्रभुपाद से बार बार पूछा जाए प्रभुपाद himself said my devotees are perfect gentlemen. Why he said like that? Perfect gentleman means they have to behave in a gentlemanly way also. So one should follow certain moral codes कि कैसे चीजें होनी चाहिए. ये नहीं कि एकदम अंधाधुंध कहीं भी कुछ भी करना है. This is not good. Then a person loses his own dignity because there is no much advancement in selling the books. But there is the advancement in understanding the mood of his spiritual master, the mood of Krishna, and then accordingly doing the service. It is not a simply number of books you distribute and then you advance, become pure devotee. ऐसा नहीं है. अगर ऐसे होता तो फिर तो भाई सब लोग वहीं पे रोड पे खड़े हो जाते कि बुक बांट के मुझे प्रेम ऑफ लव ऑफ गॉड मिलने वाला है तो बुक ही बांटो फिर. और कई लोग बुक बांट के भी नहीं है भक्ति में वो भी चले गए तो फिर मतलब क्या है. It means there is something else other than distributing books. That is your consciousness. Therefore, it's an international society for Krishna consciousness. It's not an international society for distributing books. Correct? It's a consciousness in what we are doing. Whatever we are doing, we are living our life. we're chanting holy name and distribute everywhere there is an involvement of consciousness. And that consciousness has to go from mode of ignorance to passion, from passion to then goodness to sattva, to the sattva. If somebody is in ignorance, he may go for distributing books, he will distribute books, but his habits will be very troublesome habits. Somebody's passion, he will be more troublesome, again troublesome habit. Some goodness. So ultimately one has to rise to the goodness and do his devotional service. So Prabhupada wanted to engage everyone in transcendental seva, but it does not mean that one should not develop good qualities. One should develop good qualities. One should be aware of human values, how he's dealing, how he's doing everything. At the same time, we are not dependent on such values. Again, because Krishna consciousness is transcendental. At the same time. So one has to keep the balance. Not that we are dependent on values. If values are not followed, no Krishna consciousness, that is also wrong. And in Krishna consciousness, there's no need of following values. Just follow Krishna consciousness. That is also wrong. Because we are not at that level of transcendence. So we have to maintain some decorum. At the same time, we should understand it's a dynamism. There's a transcendence is also involved. So sometimes transcendence takes over our values. Sometimes values should also maintain the decorum of transcendence. It is important while we are living in society. Okay. Yes, Shastri Bhaktir Bhagvat Kinchana Sarvair Gure Tattva Samasate Sura. All the good qualities of knowledge develop in one who has attained the stage of devotional service. The principle of accepting a spiritual master, as mentioned in 8th verse, is essential. Even for one who takes to devotional service, it is most important. Transcendental life begins when one accepts a bona fide spiritual master. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, clearly states here that this process of knowledge is the actual path. Anything speculated beyond this is nonsense. So, what is that? The 8th one. Yes, Acharyopasanam. Acharya Upasanam. The Acharya Upasanam is service to spiritual master, means one has to accept the spiritual master. So even for devotional service, मयि चानन्य योगेन भक्ति अभिविचारिणी, अभिविचारिणी भक्ति के लिए भी आचार्योपासनम is important, Prabhupada says. So transcendental life begins when one accepts bona fide spiritual master. So his transcendental life begins. So this is important. Initiation process is important. In our preaching also, one should show the goal to whom we preach. One should not just keep people in pocket. पॉकेट में नहीं रखना चाहिए. मतलब आप प्रचार कर रहे हैं तो आपको बोलना चाहिए कि देखो भक्तों, आपको इसके बाद after certain, when you start chanting holy name, coming to temple, you have started following sadachar, sadhana you are doing, then you should now worry about accepting spiritual master. Your next goal should be to accept spiritual. So we should show the next goal, next milestone. Not that after 10 years this person is just struggling in his chanting and not able to complete rounds or something. So we should, in the beginning only, we should, after 1 year preaching, we should tell, okay, now the next stage for you is to accept a spiritual master. So now you should goal for it. So unless we give a goal in the hands of sincere people, they will become relaxed after some time. So this goal has to be given because his transcendental life has to begin. कभी कभी देखा जाता है कोई आदमी 10 साल से जब कर रहा है, 14 साल से कर रहा है, तो उसको गुरु के बारे में बताना जरूरी है बाबा, कि अभी केवल हम ही नहीं है उसको प्रचार करने के लिए. अभी गुरु का शेल्टर ले लो. हमारे शेल्टर से तो आगे तुम्हारा गाड़ी आगे बढ़ ही नहीं रहा है. तो गुरु का शेल्टर लो. टेक शेल्टर ऑफ मोर पावरफुल saintly person and have a goal in life. So Srila Prabhupada himself, he got initiated after 11 years. But he was always aspiring to get, he on the first meeting only accepted spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, into his heart that he will be my guru. And later it took some time for him. But the whole thing is one should have goal that one should accept a spiritual master. And then one should advance further. As for the knowledge outlined here, the items may be analyzed as follows. Humility means, okay, now here the each knowledge items Prabhupada defines. Humility means one should not be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. This is important. What is the humility? Humility means this. One should not be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. So, a devotee, a devotee can do any kind of seva. Yes, whatever Lord says, he has to do. So then, still, devotees have a certain tendency. They always feel unqualified. Why? Even though they may be expert also in that seva, they might have done earlier also, but they do not accept. They say, no, no, no. If somebody else can do better, then okay, I can assist him. So this is a thing. What is that? Humility. He is not anxious to have to being honored by others. अरे मैं वहां पे इतना करके आया, अच्छा अभी कौन करेगा? अरे मेरे अलावा कौन कर सकता है? मैंने उधर उतना किया है तो इधर भी उतना होगा ही होगा. Who can be the next glorious person than me? तो देन वो फिर ह्यूमिलिटी की बात आती है. तो ह्यूमिलिटी मतलब एक अंदर से फीलिंग है कि आई डोंट वांट टू बी ऑनर्ड बाय अदर्स. I don't want any glorification. Hmm. So this kind of feeling should be there. Hmm. And that feeling only keeps a devotee humble. Hmm. The material conception of life makes us very eager to receive honor from others. But from the point of view of a man in a perfect knowledge who knows that he is not this body, anything honor or dishonor pertaining to this body is useless. One should not be hankering after the material deception. Hmm. People are very anxious to be famous for their religion. Okay, this is another one. Uh, so what is this? Humility means it is pertaining to the soul. So the soul by nature is humble, and he is in full knowledge. He thinks I am a doer. I am not a doer. I am instrument. Krishna is actually the doer. So, but when we have body, we have a thinking that I am a doer. Therefore, prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasa. Ahankar vimooಢ atma kartaham iti manyate. This thought process that I am a doer is due to ahankar, and ahankar is nothing but subtle body. So the subtle and gross body, they create this kind of conception that I am a doer, and so he wants to get honor for others from others. है कि नहीं ऐसा? कई लोग तो इतने निर्लज होते हैं, मतलब उनको जितना प्रशंसा करो उनका हंसी और बढ़ता रहता है. मीन्स they just means materialist people sometimes they're so shameless people. They don't feel any kind of uh, embarrassment or some kind of uneasiness. Oh, I'm not actually of that caliber, but they're glorifying me more than my. Even some materialists, like even if you see some gentlemanly people in like Abdul Kalam, such kind of people. So, or even you find the Abdul Kalam, the story is there. Like he was also such kind of personality. Means he did not want to be honored by others. Such people they live very simple life. So we have heard earlier one story that when he was working in this satellite system, so then so one of his boss when they launch a rocket, so that time there was a failure. So then the boss said, "Ki I am the cause of failure. I will face the public or the media." So then that time he faced the media and public. So they made many comments against him. And when the next time they were successful, then he sent his followers, like those who were in his team, to face the glorification. And he did not came in front. So then Abdul Kalam mentions that that was our leader. He did not want to be honored by others, but he wanted to face the blame of others. So even sometimes, many times, materialists also they show such kind of good qualities in them. The humility means this actually. Like we should ask our, whenever we are growing children, means we are growing our children, so we should ask our dependents, ki when you get glorification, what do you feel? We should ask, and we should train them actually also in that way, their feelings, how they should be feeling, because training is not simply giving them food or giving them education, some school training. In their consciousness is very important. Mm. If somebody gives them something, then we should say thank you. Mm. Feeling gratefulness is important. Then if we are doing something very good and then somebody glorifies us, so then what we should feel inside heart? Hmm? Ki actually I am not the doer. Hmm? And all glorification actually, if I am the doer, the same living entity cannot be successful in similar kind of contest other times. Like example is Arjuna. Arjuna was successful in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but in the same just another battle when he has to fight with some infidel, just some cowherd man, when he was protecting the queens of Dwarka or queens of Krishna, he could not defeat them. So he was thinking, अरे दिस गांव वाले बच्चे मेरे को हरा दिए, और मैंने इतने बड़े बड़े सूरवीरों को मैंने युद्ध में खत्म कर दिया, और वो अर्जुन, वो इन गांव वालों लड़कों से नहीं लड़ाई कर पाया. So he understood actually that all the borrowed plumes, these are not the mine. जो भी मैंने borrow किया है संसार में skills, वो कभी कभी काम करते, कभी कभी नहीं करते. It means they are controlled by Krishna. Krishna only has allowed something to work and something not to work. Sometimes it works, sometimes does not. So who is actually controlling everything? He is controller. So one should not be proud actually. Like Indra, he was thinking, I am the god of rain. He came and just showered so much rain in Vrindavan, wanted to just submerge everyone. Then what happened? Krishna just showed him such a, you can say, he just made fun of him, कि तुम कितना भी बारिश करो, एक बूंद भी अंदर नहीं आएगा गोवर्धन के, एक बूंद भी नहीं आया गोवर्धन के अंदर पानी, और एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिला गोवर्धन से. तो भगवान ने कितना उनको एकदम लज्जित कर दिया. He made fun of him actually. You say that you're god of rain, but you cannot even remove a leaf from tree of on Govardhan. इतना भी नहीं कर सकते. तो भगवान सेब हमारी शक्ति को एकदम तुच्छ कर देते हैं, क्योंकि सब कुछ उनके कंट्रोल में है. यानी करने वाला कौन है? ऊपर वाला है. ये हमें समझ में आना चाहिए. इसी से ह्यूमिलिटी डेवलप होती है, कि सेम मैं कहाँ पे यहाँ पे इतना इतना सक्सेस पाया, और जस्ट कुछ समय बाद सेम सिचुएशंस में या उससे नीचे वाली सिचुएशंस में भी मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाया. व्हाई? बिकॉज द थिंग्स आर नॉट अंडर माय कंट्रोल. So God is a doer actually. Yes, what is the question?
Yeah. So I have a like small question regarding when we are saying about this morality and transcendent morality, that we also need to be like show that morality before bypassing it in the name of transcendent morality. So, Prabhuji, one thought on that scenario, as you also spoke about scientists like APJ Abdul Kalam and like you said that now they are materialist people, but they also showcase humility. That what is actual leadership quality that they have. They are going in the background when it is a failure, but coming like when it's a failure, they are coming in front and facing it. But when it is a success, they are sending a team to take the credit. So in that sense, Prabhuji, we see that our when we had this Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 2 or 3, whatever it was, whenever India sent that plane to Chandrayaan, we had a lot of articles, we had a lot of blogs, we have a lot of things that what man is doing. It's just like some foolish thing going there and finding out stones. And so we were like, a lot of criticism went ahead about the scientist and all. But later, just after a couple of months, we saw that a lot of devotees going to the same scientist as head and meeting him and like giving him prasad and inviting him, getting got a lot of photos, doing publicity with him. He also went to like Tirupati, took darshan of Lord. So is it right, like at one side we like don't leave any opportunity to criticize people when it is about Chandrayaan and all, and at the same after a couple of months we go ahead and then we seek adoration, or like we want to get our fame in with him because he has got fame. So is it right or wrong? Similarly, when we also see in a similar context, when we see that there was a lot of things going on about Premanand Maharaj, that he speaks this thing, he speaks that thing, it's like Mayavad and a lot of things. But recently, when a video came where he's glorifying Srila Prabhupada, a lot of devotees had it in their WhatsApp status. So is it right that till the time they don't speak good about us, we are like openly criticizing them, and then when they start speaking good about us, we are so happy that, oh, see, they are telling us good about us. So is it like right or wrong from devotee side?
Okay. So, according to my opinion, when it comes to tattva has to be clear. Tattva. Prabhupada, in personal life, he helped Misra, who was Mayavadi. So, whenever he was sick, Prabhupada, he cooked also for Mishra and he helped him, he served him also. बट व्हेन इट केम टू फिलोसफी, प्रभुपाद ने अच्छा धोया उनको, तत्व में एकदम उनको बोला कि इसको कोई मत फॉलो करो, डोंट फॉलो ऑल ऑफ हिज योर फॉलोअर्स, डोंट फॉलो हिम, इज स्पीकिंग रॉन्ग थिंग. But when it came to helping him when he was not healthy, he was in difficult situation. So Prabhupada did not run away or thinking that, oh, he's a Mayavadi. No, Prabhupada helped him. So we can see here, when it comes to Supreme Personality of Godhead, his glorification, or becoming his devotee. So that is based upon tattva. Very, very clear. Who is a devotee? Who is surrender to Krishna? Who is non-devotee? Who is not surrender to Krishna? He is a materialist person. And all materialists are demons only. Prabhupada clearly says many places they are demons. Huh? So Vishnu Bhakti Bhaye Devat Asurastad Viparyaya. Asur means he is a non-devotee. So when it comes to philosophy, Asura, they will never do any good things. Even though they may send Chandrayaan to कहीं भी भेजेंगे, कुछ भी उनका काम है केवल enjoy करना, sense gratification करना. So philosophy is very clear, very tough, very hard, एकदम cutting. उसमें कोई compromise नहीं. Now the same person, if he can become devotee, if he can help in certain uh, process or certain seva where he can get some mercy and devotees also get some benefit of him to call other materialists and bring them to bhakti. So then sometimes devotees they take help of certain people. होता है ऐसा, कई बार लेते हैं. But one has to be careful also. One has to be careful also that sometimes like this thing what you said, the outside people they see this thing only. Very outside people are very, very naive people, naive. They दे मेक सच काइंड ऑफ कोरिलेशन. अरे इस्कॉन ने उधर उतना क्रिटिसाइज किया, अभी जाके उसे हाथ मिला रहा है. अरे किस चीज पे क्रिटिसाइज किया? उसकी फिलॉसफी को क्रिटिसाइज किया. लेकिन एज अ पर्सन वी नेवर से दैट आई विल नॉट टेक हिज हैंड टू हेल्प हिम, आई विल नॉट गिव हिम फूड व्हेन ही इज हंग्री, आई विल नॉट गिव हिम मेडिसिन व्हेन ही इज सिक. हु सेज वी विल डू दैट? हम सबको मदद करेंगे, कोई ये नहीं बोलता. हमारे फिलॉसफी में ये नहीं है कि हम दूसरों को खिलाएंगे नहीं या दूसरों को हेल्प नहीं करेंगे. दैट इज अ ह्यूमैनिटी. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू तत्वा, as a devotee, if somebody says give up your rounds and just live like a Somnath ji, who is the chairman of ISRO, सोमनाथ की तरह जियो, ठीक है? तो हम नहीं करने वाले. That is you're changing my life. That I cannot do. But yes, if you say that you be a devotee, just come and meet with him, and he is going to help in certain contest or certain things. So then that can be one proposal, and devotees can do that. Unless again, now this is another question like Premanand Maharaj, that is quite complex thing. Which is quite complex because there are some problems also and there are some benefit also, but benefit we should maintain because if Premanand Maharaj uh, things are already circulating so many places. The thing is that uh, we should maintain balance. And balance also according to situation. So if many devotees are going and joining that person, so then one should not make a good friendship with certain people, because this is causing harm to our society. Then we should remain away. We should not think that by doing this we'll have a good preaching. No, preaching नहीं हो जाएगा, आपके लोग चले जाएंगे। तो वहां पे ध्यान देना चाहिए। तो ये सब अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेस्ड भी है, एकदम ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट रूल्स नहीं है किससे जाके मिलना चाहिए। अभी मायावादी से आप जाके हाथ मिलाते हो, अभी वो कितना नोन मायावादी है, हाउ मच इज नोन मायावादी, reputed Maya. If you are meeting a reputed Mayawadi, then the photo will come, ISKCON is shaking hand with Mayawad. तो वो गलत है। हाँ, बट कोई नॉर्मल कोई व्यक्ति है, मायावादी है, इधर उधर का है, उससे एंड देन यू आर मेकिंग शेकिंग हैंड, यू आर आस्किंग समथिंग, यू आर टेकिंग हिज हेल्प बिकॉज यू हैव टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट सम बुक्स, यू आर आस्किंग कैन यू गिव सम हेल्प, कैन वी स्टे इन योर मठा फॉर 1 day or 10 days, वॉट एवर, सो दैट हेल्प ओके, सो चलेगा बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग योर सेवा। बट दैट शुड नॉट बिकम द बुलेटिन, न्यूज बुलेटिन में नहीं आना चाहिए, और उससे हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम नहीं खराब होना चाहिए। तो ये सब क्या है, चेक एंड बैलेंस सिस्टम से करना चाहिए। तो अगर प्रचार में काम हो रहा है लेकिन उससे बुरा नाम नहीं होना चाहिए, वन शुड नॉट गेन अ बैड नेम, so these things should be taken care.
Prabhuji, and just like I understood, like proper example you gave, it's like very clear that when it comes to helping person getting connected to God, and making Vishnu conscious, or any his needs also are getting fulfilled from us. That's like fine. But in Tattva, we are clear that we don't accept that. So that example is like very perfect, like how Prabhupada did it. But in our case, like my question came up that really anyone went and met the person before that Chandrayaan event happened. Okay, so and then suddenly, because it got so much of publicity across the world, why it got, because that event happened which was against our tattva, and we have openly spoken about it also that it's not right. And
Correct,
then
correct.
and then we take shelter of that same event to publicize ourselves, so that ultimately it is helping book distribution and the other things, events only, ISKCON is getting spread. But whatever the same thing, someone starts posting or like commenting that you are the same people who were criticizing him a couple of months back. So from that perspective, I'm saying, and why I gave the second example, because it has happened at one place that there's a special class done for the speaker, which I quoted, that don't hear him, don't like he's got like good big fan followers. Don't hear him, his philosophy is like this and all that. A lot of things happened, and that same group posted his this video where three speakers speak about glorification of Srila Prabhupada. The that clip was posted in the announcement group of the whole area. So
Correct.
so that is like I was saying that a couple of months back we criticized someone so badly that we have you have to conduct a special class for that, and then after some months, because he's glorifying us, uh, we are hearing him. So is that not a sort of I would not fear to say, but is it not a duplicitous behavior from our side also? So
See, first thing, which I would say that many times what happens, some people are criticizing and some other people go and meet, because institute is so big, some other people go and meet and take some help of that person for their own whatever seva. So now the person who's going for seva help, he is not much worried about confronting him in philosophy. Or tomorrow any problem comes, he is not going to. He will say, "Oh, okay." Sometimes, it happened also. Like Sumati Murarji, she was a disciple of. She was following Pushti Marg, and Srila Prabhupada, he took help of Srimati Murarji to go to foreign country. And the Back to Godhead magazine, some people wrote the discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabhacharya, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastises Vallabhacharya that you are a prostitute, actually. And then this was read by Sumati Murarji, and she was saying, Swamiji, what kind of articles your disciples are writing? So Prabhupada chastised his disciple. He said, why you need to write such things? Huh? And because I took help from her, and I did not contradict her for her philosophy or whatever. I just wanted her help to fulfill my Guru's mission. And you people, you wrote something else. So just see here, I gave example. Somebody is taking help of seva and somebody is criticizing or whatever is doing. So then that person comes to know the other people of the same institute ki they are also like this. Acha, I was only knowing the Swami who was very good in speaking and asking for seva, but there are some people in the institute who are criticizing my own Guru. So then they become offended actually. So then the same person, if he deals with the same person, then it becomes easy. But इंस्टीट्यूट में क्या होता है, ये पूरा बहुत बड़ा है, कौन किस मोटिव से जा रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, ये हैंडल कर पाना मुश्किल है. दिस इज वन थिंग. सेकेंड थिंग, द you said that the same person change the way, first criticizing then putting the, so this thing should be done very very carefully, or it should not be done. Actually it should not be done, because one should be fixed on tattva. One should not be fixed on popularizing the materialistic people or anybody, even though he may be very advanced sadhu. huh? But one should speak about one's own acharya, and one should glorify, बोल देना चाहिए. लेकिन जब आपको पता है कि आपने ऑलरेडी क्रिएट किया है वो सब टेंशन, तो फिर उसको कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर वापस सही करना, मतलब दैट इज नॉट गुड. मीन्स देन पीपल विल डाउट दैट यू आर रॉन्ग और यू आर राइट. तो इसमें तो आप तत्व में ही गलत जा रहे हो. पहले आप बोलो ये है, बाद में बोलो ये है. इट मीन्स यू वर रॉन्ग बिफोर और राइट राइट नाउ, or you are right, you are wrong right now and wrong before. What is that? People may get confused actually. So we should properly put under tattva. Earlier I was saying because of this and I was wrong, and now this person to be looks very good and he's right. So then it means we are confused what we are doing, we do not know. ऐसे नहीं. देखो मैंने आपको पहले एग्जांपल दिया, अलग पर्पस, सेवा का पर्पस है. तो प्रभुपाद ने भी ये, प्रभुपाद के लाइफ में भी मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया. बट when it comes to same person, like Prabhupada say tomorrow, oh Misra is a very good person. Okay, sometimes people say Tulsidas. Prabhupada has glorified Tulsidas and Prabhupada also has chastised, मतलब तुलसीदास के ऊपर बोला भी है प्रभुपाद ने. तो ऐसे कैसे? प्रभुपाद ने कहाँ पे तुलसीदास को ग्लोरीफाई किया है? बाहर के लोगों के सामने. और ही वॉज अ गुड पोइट. पोइट में मतलब अच्छा है, अच्छे वो करते थे, पोइट्री अच्छा करते थे. बट जब तत्व की बात आती है तो वो स्पेकुलेशन के रूप में प्रभुपाद ने बोला कि उन्होंने स्पेकुलेट किया है चीजों को, मायावादी मिक्स किया उसमें. प्रभुपाद ने बोला, उनके गुरु महाराज भक्ति संत सरस्वती महाराज भी बोलते थे. सो व्हेन इट केम टू तत्वा दे आर नॉट एग्रीइंग, बट व्हेन इट केम टू नाइस पोएट्री, बीइंग अ नाइस ह्यूमन, showing nice qualities, that time Prabhupada is glorified. So in the similar way, that may also happen sometime. A person who is criticized for tattva, but for his good behavior, प्रभुपाद के बारे में अच्छा बोल रहा तो ठीक है, ग्लोरीफाई कर दिया. बट देन तत्व के बारे में नहीं, तत्व सही नहीं है, तो उसमें भी हमें ध्यान से समझना, ये भी हो सकता है. समटाइम्स लाइक तुलसीदास इज ग्लोरीफाइड इन आवर स्क्रिप्चर्स. सम प्रभुपाद लेक्चर्स में ग्लोरीफाई भी किया और कहीं पर क्रिटिसाइज भी किया प्रभुपाद, दोनों चीज किया है. तो इसको थोड़ा ऐसे समझना है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये सब चीजें. रिलीजन में कभी ऐसा होता है, जैसे मैं कल भी एग्जांपल दे रहा था, आई वाज गिविंग एग्जांपल यस्टरडे. Like one principal teacher said that how can Ekadasi is not followed in Jagannath Puri and Ekadasi is followed by all of you? What is this? ये कैसे पॉसिबल है? भगवान में ही देख सकते हैं हम विरोधाभास. भगवान कहीं पे करते कहीं पे नहीं करते. तो उसको कैसे समझना है ठीक से कि ये किस एंगल से लिया गया है, किस पर्पज के लिए किया गया है, ये किस पर्पज के लिए किया गया है. ये दोनों को सेपरेट करके देखना चाहिए, दोनों को मिक्स नहीं करना चाहिए. जैसे कहे कि भक्त क्रिटिसाइज करते दूसरे भक्त, एग्जाम्पल है ना, तीसरा भक्त आके बोले प्रभु जी आपने तो लेक्चर दिया कि क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करना चाहिए, आप कैसे क्रिटिसाइज. अब किस बात पे क्रिटिसिज्म हो रहा है, किस बात पे हो रहा है क्रिटिसिज्म? जैसे मान लो किसी ने प्रसाद में नमक ज्यादा डाल दिया और आप उसे ग्लोरीफाई करो. हमें भक्तों को बोलना नहीं चाहिए. आपने जो भी किया, आपने ट्रांसडेंटल वर्क किया है प्रभु, भगवान उससे खुश हैं, आपके कार्यों को भक्ति मानते हैं सब कुछ, तो हम आपको बिल्कुल नहीं बोलेंगे. मत बोलो कल को मिर्ची ज्यादा डालेगा और कल को कुछ और बना के खिलाएगा आपको. So then you don't speak only and just give a lecture that don't criticize. No, this is not a sentimentalism. You have to tell criticism basically should be constructive. दैट वी शुड टेल कि ये थोड़ा नमक ज़्यादा हो गया, आप थोड़ा प्रॉपर मेन्यू से देख के डालो नमक, क्योंकि सभी भक्तों को नमकीन ज़्यादा लग गया और कोई खा नहीं पा रहा है, सब्जी फेंका गया, कोई फायदा नहीं है कुकिंग का फिर। तो आप थोड़ा प्रॉपर नमक डालो, तो प्रॉपरली उनको बताएंगे तो वो भी समझेंगे कि मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबल हूँ बाबा, मैं ट्रांसडेंटल नहीं हूँ। तो दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट। So criticism is done for what purpose? Then glorification is done for what purpose? See the purpose. बट इफ सेम थिंग एक जगह पे क्रिटिसाइज हो रहा है, एक जगह पे एक ही चीज के लिए, तो फिर वो गलत है, वो कंफ्यूजन है। कभी बोलते हो अच्छा है, कभी बोलते खराब है, अच्छा है खराब, ये क्या मतलब? ऐसा नहीं, किस चीज में अच्छा है, किस चीज में खराब है, वो क्लियर करो। ऐसा, तो दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर अस। सो इवन और प्रसादम, प्रसादम में अब जैसे हम पानी पानी थोड़ी हम ऑफर करते हैं हमेशा। डू वी ऑफर वाटर ऑलवेज? नो। इफ यू से एवरीथिंग आई ऑफर एंड ड्रिंक, नो, वी डोंट ऑफर वाटर। डू यू ऑफर द एयर विच यू ब्रीथ? हवा को क्या ऑफर करते हो क्या? एक भी हवा का सांस का एक झोंका भी लिया और आपने ऑफर नहीं किया तो आप अभक्त हो जाओगे। यू डोंट ऑफर न। सो देन वी अंडरस्टैंड द तत्व कि क्या ऑफर करना है भैया और क्या ऑफर नहीं करना है। तो भगवान उसको मानते हैं कि ऐसा ये चीज होता है, ये चीज होता है। इस तत्व में भी ऐसा है कि जो चीज समझ में आता है, जो चीज नहीं समझ में आता है, जो ज्यादा स्ट्रांग तत्व है उस पर कोई गलत बोल रहा है कि मैं ईश्वर और जीव एक ही है, तो उसमें तो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट करना ही पड़ेगा। लेकिन अगर वो बोलता है कि हमें गरीबों को कुछ देना चाहिए, खिलाना चाहिए, और शिला प्रभुपाद इतने अच्छे गुरु थे जिन्होंने काफी जो हृदय से गरीब है लोग उनको कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में लाया, तो वो सबसे अच्छे फिलंथ्रोपिस्ट है। अगर मान लो कोई ऐसे ग्लोरीफाई करता है प्रभुपाद को तो बहुत अच्छा बात है। लेकिन वो क्या बोल रहे हैं दूसरे तत्व में कि ईश्वर और जीव एक है, तो वहां पे उसको तोड़ देना है, वहां पे उसको तोड़ना पड़ेगा, ये गलत है, ईश्वर जीव एक नहीं है। लेकिन यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं कि प्रभुपाद फिलंथ्रोपिस्ट सबसे बड़े हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने सबको हेल्प किया। ठीक बोल रहा है, अच्छी बात है, ग्लोरीफाई कर दिया। किस चीज पे कर रहा है, तो ये भी ध्यान देना है। ब्लंटली किसी चीज को एक डायरेक्शन में 1 या 0 में नहीं करना है। मतलब ये गंदा मतलब गंदा ही होगा, अच्छा मतलब अच्छा ही होगा, ऐसा नहीं। आपको जज कर।
मेरा पॉइंट तो इसमें और क्या रहना है कि हमको ऐसे लोगों का रेफरेंस यूज ही क्यों करना है? मतलब क्या हमारे
सावधानी
प्रभुपाद,
सावधानी रखना चाहिए, सावधानी
हाँ नहीं,
रखना
मतलब
चाहिए।
हमारे प्रभुपाद क्या मतलब ग्रेट नहीं है या एक अच्छे मतलब शुद्ध भक्त नहीं है जिन्होंने इतना कंट्रीब्यूशन किया सोसाइटी के लिए? क्या ये बोलेंगे तभी होगा क्या ऐसा? क्या हम ऐसे वीडियोस उनके मतलब क्योंकि someone has got a big fan following, so we use these videos to indirectly glorify ourselves through them, and what
हाँ,
happens by
वो
it,
नहीं करना चाहिए, वो नहीं करना
and
चाहिए।
what happens by that is कि people start hearing them rather than us.
सी दिस इज अनदर थिंग इज गोइंग ऑन। जो अपना व्हाट्सएप में स्टेटस डालते हैं, आई डोंट नो, पीपल हैव लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू सी स्टेटस ऑफ अदर्स। लोगों के पास बहुत समय है और लोग भी
WhatsApp में
डालते
तो
भी
रील्स
हैं।
पर पूरा
अगेन
पोस्ट
आई एम
करके
नॉट
कर देते
जजिंग
हैं।
एनी बडी, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग लिटिल ऑफ माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो भी है। मैं जस्ट शेयर करो कि कई बार लोग ऐसा भी करते हैं कि स्टेटस डाला तो अभी उनको उससे कुछ मतलब नहीं है जो स्टेटस में डाला है, लेकिन लोग उनका स्टेटस देखेंगे तो एटलीस्ट उसको फीलिंग आया कि चलो लोग मेरे व्हाट्सएप को देख तो रहे हैं। People may not even worry about what they're putting in WhatsApp status. They may not have read also, but they are worried about popularity. तो ये व्यक्ति ज्यादा पॉपुलर है, उसको मैं अपने स्टेटस में डालूंगा तो मैं भी पॉपुलर हो जाऊंगा। तो इस तरीके का थोड़ा थोड़ा थॉट्स होते हैं। दीज आर थॉट्स। सो एक्चुअली दिस वर्ल्ड इज वेरी क्रेजी। यू नो, द मोर वी आर इंटरेक्टिंग फ्रीली ना, वी आर बिकमिंग मोर एंड मोर क्रेजी। इसलिए इंटरेक्शन ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए। पहले के जमाने में सब नहीं था ना, व्हाट्सअप यूट्यूब नहीं था, तो लोग अपने पर्सनली इंटरेक्ट करते थे। तो एक आदमी मूर्ख है तो उसको 2 लोग जानेंगे तो ये मूर्ख है, मूर्ख है। अभी क्या है, मूर्खों की सभा हो गई है। सब लोग को लगता है कि सब अच्छे हैं, ये देखो ये मूर्ख ने इतने जो भी इसके इतने पॉपुलैरिटी है, इसकी इतनी पॉपुलैरिटी है। सो एवरीबडी इज इन पॉपुलैरिटी गेम एक्चुअली। नाउ इट इज नॉट वेरी इजी टू check the consciousness of everyone who are on YouTube, who are on popularity. क्या कॉन्शियसनेस है, इट इज श्योरली वो अफेक्ट करता है कॉन्शियसनेस को। मेरे कितने लाइक्स है, उसके पीछे क्या थॉट प्रोसेस है। कई लोगों को पता भी नहीं रहता मैं क्यों डाल रहा हूँ, उससे कितना कंट्रोवर्सी होगा, वो जस्ट डाल देते हैं। डालने के बाद सोचते जाने दो, छोड़ दो, एटलीस्ट सब लोग देख रहे हैं तो मेरा भी व्हाट्सअप देखेंगे सब कुछ। एक्चुअली तो थोड़ा सा वो रहना चाहिए। ओके, विल स्टॉप हियर बिकॉज दिस इज ऑन गोइंग डिस्कशन। यस प्रभु, बृहस्पति गोपीनाथ।
Yeah, Prabhu, my query is, uh, as Prabhu said, like my query is it recommended to hear from other sampradayas also, not only other Swamijis, because we have four sampradayas, Ramanuja also. Okay, is it recommended to our ISKCON devotees? Because I can see like not only this, many other Swamijis also residing in many ISKCON devotees, those who are initiated also. Not only one Swamiji in their respective states, they will see these like YouTubes, they will status followers. Is it recommended that we can hear in ISKCON also variety of devotees? We can hear from them. Why like maybe some devotees are going outside? Is it recommended to hear from other bona fide sampradayas also? Because they will speak differently. So that as Prabhu said, many are not listening to our Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj. They are listening that YouTube clips I saw, and they are forwarding to other devotees also. So some other devotees also following them. So just for my own purpose, I am telling, because I also got few from other.
It is not safe.
Yeah,
Which is not safe. Even though they may be very dedicated follower of their sampradaya, it is not safe for a devotee who is not very much fixed up in his own parampara, sampradaya. If one is not very much fixed up in his own sampradaya and parampara, it is not safe for him to hear other sampradaya. Very clear, actually. I know even in ISKCON also many people get inspired from other sampradaya and they speak a full lecture on that. And if you just ask them, have you read Shat Sandarbhas? पढ़ा है क्या तुमने? तुम उनके बारे में इतना ग्लोरिफिकेशन क्यों करते हो? पहले अपने गोस्वामी के बारे में पढ़ लो, फिर बाद में वो बोलना। तो कई बार वो इस्कॉन में ही दूसरा संप्रदाय खोल देते हैं। सी भक्ति इज आल्सो नैरो। द परंपरा का ज्ञान सही है, ऑथेंटिक है, बट हर एक परंपरा में हम कूद नहीं सकते, इधर भी उधर भी उधर भी इधर भी। उससे क्या होता है, उससे बिकॉज in other sampradaya different mood of god is worshipped, in our sampradaya different mood of god is worshipped. You cannot mix up, चटनी नहीं बना सकते। हम पुष्टि मार्ग को ये नहीं कि हम अपने घर में लड्डू गोपाल लेके आए, और लड्डू गोपाल कई लोग के घर में रहता है, बट जो भी डिवोटीज गौड़िया वैष्णव के मार्ग पे आगे एडवांस हो रहे, दे शुड वर्शिप राधा कृष्ण, नॉट लड्डू गोपाल। वेयर इज द लड्डू गोपाल इन आवर संप्रदाय? बट वी हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड लड्डू गोपाल, दैट इज पुष्टि मार्ग। That is okay for bhakti is okay, but we are worshipper of God Nitaya, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Radha, Krishna. They are not worshipper of Laddu Gopal, but people worship it. ठीक है, अब worship करो ठीक है, लेकिन like in one place there was a Radha Krishna deity this much big deities. So I asked the family, why haven't you put the deities in the altar? You are worshiping Laddu Gopal. So then they said that our mother who's a devotee, she said that it's not good because otherwise you cannot dress Radha Krishna every day, and Radha Krishna may ask a lot of seva from you. So better worship Laddu Gopal and keep Radha Krishna out of altar somewhere else. So I did not say anything because anyway that other devotee is guiding already, so I should not contradict you there. But in my mind I was thinking we are changing the parampara. Even though you may not, why if you may not worship Radha Krishna, you first should not bring the deity of Radha Krishna without asking somebody, some authority. And once you have brought it also, and then not serving also Radha Krishna, only serving Laddu Gopal and keeping Radha Krishna a statue in the house, that is also not good. So we are worshipper of Radha Krishna, very clear. We are worshipper of Gaur Nita, very clear. So अभी बाकी भाव को क्यों इंट्रोड्यूस किया जा रहा है? अभी हमारे मंदिर में भी अभी बालाजी आ गए। बालाजी हमारे भाव में नहीं है, बट डाल दिया हमने। तो जीबीसी ने क्लियरली बोला है अभी कहीं बालाजी नहीं डालेंगे, आपने डाल दिया, एक्सेप्शन डाला है पूना में हमने, बट वो नहीं है हमारे भाव में वर्शिप। भले रूपा जी बोलते बालाजी, बट बालाजी इज ऐश्वर्य भाव। Is in Ashwarya Bhav. We may worship Lord Ram, Sita. Also, Prabhupada said ki Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman in some temples we are worshipping. Prabhupada wanted that because Prabhupada said that the people should be dharmic. They should follow the example of Ram. So that is taken from Acharya of same sampradaya. हमारे संप्रदाय के आचार्य बोले ठीक है worship. But Prabhupada did not say that we have to go to Saket Dham. Prabhupada said we have to go to Golok Dham. Every lecture he said. तो तो ये क्लियर करना चाहिए कि हम वर्शिपर किसके, और गोस्वामी तो और ज्यादा इसमें वो करते हैं कि हम किसके वर्शिपर हैं. ओनली कैसो राधा कृष्ण वी आर वर्शिपिंग, नॉट द लड्डू गोपाल. लड्डू गोपाल the pushti mark worship actually. So then when it comes to hearing for other sampradaya, so we can if the hearing of other sampradaya increasing our devotion for Krishna more, then that can be good. अनुकूलन संकल्प से मीन्स अनुकूल है भक्ति के लिए, ठीक है. लेकिन उससे हमारा विड्रॉल हो रहा है, हम उनके संप्रदाय में खींचे जा रहे हैं, तब मुश्किल है. देन वी आर नॉट फिक्स्ड अप इन आवर संप्रदाय. एंड दिस इज आई वांटेड एक्चुअली बिकॉज आवर संप्रदाय इज सो हैवी, सो एक्सपेंडेड एक्चुअली. उसमें बहुत ज्ञान है, हमको पढ़ने के लिए समय चाहिए. जीव गोस्वामी ने इतने भर भर के लिखे है, आप कोई भी संप्रदाय हमारे संप्रदाय के सामने टिक नहीं सकता अगर हमारे संप्रदाय को देखा जाए तो. इसमें बहुत हाईली एलिवेटेड फिलॉसफी है एक्चुअली. भले प्रैक्टिस करने का प्रभुपाद जी ने मार्ग थोड़ा वैदी से दिया है, लेकिन इसमें रागानुगा से लेके भाव भक्ति, प्रेम भक्ति सब का विवरण है, जो कि बाकी संप्रदाय में भी नहीं है उतना. इतना अच्छा विवरण किया है भक्ति का रूप गोस्वामी पाद ने. इतना भक्ति को डिटेल में बताया, किसी भी आचार्य ने नहीं बताया, किसी भी आचार्य ने नहीं, जितना रूप गोस्वामी पाद ने बताया. जीव गोस्वामी इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी द सेकंड वेद व्यास, सेकंड वेद व्यास. उतना किसी भी आचार्य ने नहीं. तो हम इनको पढ़ते नहीं है, जानते नहीं, इसलिए हम कभी कभी गुमराह हो जाते हैं. हमको लगता है कि प्रभुपाद ने सिंपल लेक्चर्स दिए, हम थोड़ा उनका सुन लें, इनका सुन लें. बट बाकी लोग कहीं से भी सुन के आएंगे, बोलेंगे. लेकिन हमारे जो आचार्य के लिटरेचर से अगर जो पढ़ेगा उसे समझ में आएगा कि भाई ये तो बहुत ही डीप है. कृष्ण कृष्णा प्रेम, एवरीथिंग इज सो डीपली मेंशन. Like this time, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was mentioning in his yatra so many pastimes from Gopal Champu and Mukta Charita, some what is it? Dan Keli.
Garg Sanhita also.
So Maharaj was himself, so some devotees were astonished. अरे बाबा, इस बार महाराज ने कहाँ से पास्टिम लाया है? तो now महाराज also showed कि तुम लोग कुछ पढ़ते वढ़ते है नहीं, मैं अभी लेके आता हूँ, तो अभी ऑथराइज कर देता हूँ कि अब तुम भी पढ़ना चालू करो. कहने का मतलब है कि हमारा संप्रदाय ऐसा नहीं है. You are only body or soul. So many things are there.
So this comes very clearly in this IDC, when we have this Vani, Vapu and Vani, what to hear, what not to hear. It's very clearly given that what we should hear, or like at least for 10-15 years, till the time we are not very deep-rooted and loyal to our sampradaya, should not hear outside.
Yes.
But due to social media, what has happened that things are floating so much that this confidentiality which comes in sampradaya is going everywhere. That's very confidential.
Means when it, like sometimes somebody is coming in our regular hearing, some Maharaj has called some Swami from other sampradaya and they are speaking, because that is Maharaj is calling. So that time also we should not be blunt and should not कि मतलब जो भी सुनना सुन तो नहीं. अगर वो कुछ इधर उधर बोलते तो हमें भी समझना चाहिए कि महाराज ने बोला है, respect में, but that Swami is speaking of something else, so we should respect.
Loyalty is here only. Loyalty should not go there, that side. That's the main thing.
The loyalty should not go anywhere else. That it should be to our sampradaya. So for that we should not अलग से मेहनत करके दूसरों का नहीं सुनना चाहिए. अगर कोई आ गया सिस्टम में तो सुन लिया, या मान लो we have to prepare some lecture from on certain one time topics where somebody has spoken better, so we can hear and we can present, but our loyalty is not transferring to that personality or to that sampradaya. No. So we should be particular also. हमारा hearing का अच्छा होना चाहिए अपने संप्रदाय में. That is very, very important. So reading and hearing is very, very important. That should be more into our own sampradaya. Now, see, sampradaya is very good in Ramayana. But now Vidwan Gorankpu is writing Ramayana के ऊपर अच्छे purport लिख रहे हो. So we should read later. So Prabhupada said Valmiki Ramayana पढ़ो, आनंद रामायण है. सो बट रामायण की भक्ति उतनी प्रचार करने की अभी जरूरत नहीं है, जब तक हमारे आचार्यों ने नहीं बोला है। अगर हमारे आचार्यों को इतना करना था तो जीव गोस्वामी ने लिख के भेजा भेजा। प्रभुपाद के पास समय कम था, जीव गोस्वामी कुड हैव रिटन रामायण की भक्ति। जीव गोस्वामी ने कृष्ण भक्ति इतना भर भर के दिया, पहले उसको पढ़ लो। आप रामायण, कई लोग रामायण की भक्ति प्रचार करते हैं सी संप्रदाय से लेके आके। अरे आपने, आपको आचार्य मिल नहीं रहे क्या बोलने के लिए? आप पढ़ो ना पहले उनका, फर्स्ट रीड अबाउट देम, वेरी डीपली दे मेंशन क्या नहीं चाहिए। राम के हर एक क्वालिटी भगवान में है, कृष्ण में, आप वो एक्सप्लेन करो। ऐसा नहीं कि वी आर फीलिंग एनवियस ऑफ दैट, नो, बट क्वेश्चन इज you start explaining the Ram Bhakti in such a transcendental devotional that the people think the Ram is so great. What about Krishna then? And when you ask about Krishna, the same knowledge, they don't have knowledge of Krishna. It means what? They are lacking. They are going into other sampradaya only. So this should not happen actually. भगवान कृष्ण के, हाँ, चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने वो सब काम किए हैं, कन्वर्जन का काम किया है, किसी को राम भक्त को कृष्ण बना दिया है। वो सब भगवान कर सकते हैं, प्रचार में आप कर सकते हो, बट वी आर नॉट प्रीचिंग टू आवर सेल्फ, वी आर लर्निंग। सो कैन वी चेंज आवर फेथ वाइल लर्निंग? नो, वी हैव टू ग्रो आवर फेथ, deepen our faith. That is the whole thing. So even in Vishnu and Krishna, Rama, so we have to be careful कि हम राम का भी कथा सुनते हैं, डिवोशन आता है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, दैट इज गुड, बट वी शुड हियर फ्रॉम आवर ओन डिवोटीज हु आर फेथफुल टू परंपरा। वी शुड नॉट हियर फ्रॉम टू मच फ्रॉम उनके संप्रदाय से। तो फिर वो क्या है, वो लगेगा कि यार इनके संप्रदाय में ये भक्ति के अच्छा विवरण है, हमारे में नहीं है, वो आपने सुना ही नहीं है, पढ़ा ही नहीं है। पढ़ोगे सुनोगे तो सब पता लगेगा। आवर आचार्य आर हाई क्लास स्कॉलर्स, उनके जैसा कोई है ही नहीं और ना हो सकता है। बहुत बड़े बड़े स्कॉलर थे हमारे आचार्य, हमें उनको पढ़ना चाहिए धीरे धीरे, कहने का ये मतलब है। अब प्रभुपाद जी का जो प्रेजेंटेशन है, प्रभुपाद जी हैज प्रेजेंटेड ऑल ऑफ दोज बट इन अ सिंपल वे, एंड इफ यू वांट टू नो मोर अबाउट द डिटेल देन प्रभुपाद हिमसेल्फ यू हैव टू रीड आचार्यस। अरे नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर के छोटे आचार्य क्या, आप विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर छोटे, बहुत बड़े बड़े आचार्य हैं। क्या इनका प्रेम है, रसिक आचार्य है, रसिक रूप गोस्वामी, सारे स्क्रिप्चर हम पढ़ ही नहीं सकते, इतने बड़े बड़े स्क्रिप्चर लिखे उन्होंने, इतनी बड़ी बड़ी लीलाएं लिखी है। So in beginning, we cannot read everything. We have to grow our trust. We have to grow our faith. We have to do a lot of seva, purify ourselves. Then slowly we can grow and read other things. But yes, we can hear from saintly people in our sampradaya, big महाराजा, उनसे हम सुन सकते हैं क्योंकि उनकी वाणी प्योर है, उनके रियलाइजेशंस प्योर है। जब हम सुनते हैं तो हम प्योर हो जाते हैं। We may not be able to read everything because we may get contaminated. Big leelas we may not be able to, but we can hear from such people because they explain such thing in a mood which we can accept. Okay. The material conception of life makes us, this is done. We'll go ahead. People are very anxious to be famous for their religion, and consequently, sometimes it is founded without an understanding the principle of religion. One enters into the some group which is not actually following religious principle, then wants to advertise himself as religious mentor. So this is Prabhupada explaining amanitvam. Amanitvam adambitvam. Yes, pridelessness. Second part is pridelessness. So what is the pridelessness? Prabhupada is connecting that pridelessness to the religion. Somebody is not following anything, but is just proud that he is a religious person. He is a religious mentor. As for the actual advancement in the spiritual science, one should have a test to see how far he is progressing. Can judge by these items. So actually, like many people, when they see some renunciate sannyasi, so sometimes they say, हम भी follow करते हैं, हम भी ब्राह्मण है, हम भी देखो, हम भी टीका लगाए हैं. We have also put the tilak, okay. Like one family, they met a devotee, and then they said, हम भी वृंदावन से हैं, we are also from Vrindavan. So the devotee said, okay, you are from Vrindavan, okay. So whom do we worship? Oh, Vrindavan means Thakurji. We worship our Thakurji. Okay, we worship our Thakurji. Okay, ठीक है. So then they started saying, the lady was saying that we wake up early in the morning, we do everything. But the devotee was saying, But the kind of the dresses they were wearing, that was not matching with their process of following, because they were quite modern, both quite modern dress they were wearing. And then the lady was saying, I wake up every day 4 o'clock, I worship my Thakur ji, bathe the Thakur ji, sab kuch khilate pilate, sab kuch karte. But the kind of dress they were wearing, it was not matching to their devotional sentiment. Then he understood कि it is too much. Sometimes people so बहुत बोलते ज्यादा है कि हम भी वृंदावन से, हम भी ये करते हैं, वो हमें दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है. The sadhu is not asking to show, no, he's just asking whatever you are following, you follow this much, you follow then this much, थोड़ा सा अधिक फॉलो करो. दिखाने, सबको दिखाना क्यों है बाबा? आजकल लोग सब दिखाने के चक्कर में बहुत ज्यादा सेल्फी खींचते हैं, सब जगह दिखाने के चक्कर में. अरे नहीं फॉलो करते, कोई आपको बोलने वाला है क्या? जो कर रहे हो करो ना, आप उसको एक्सेप्ट करो. है कि हाँ हम थोड़ा बहुत करते हैं, कभी कभी लेट हो जाता है. इवन साधु भी नहीं बोले भाई मैं हर दिन एकदम आई एम नॉन स्टॉप 4 o'clock पे उठता हूँ या उससे पहले उठता हूँ. कभी नहीं ऐसा हुआ है एक दिन भी मेरे लाइफ में. नहीं, वो बोलता है कि मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. तो जो रिलीजन को वास्तव में फॉलो करते हैं ना, उनमें ह्यूमिलिटी डेवलप होता है, प्राइडलेसनेस डेवलप, कि भाई हम इस शरीर में जी रहे हैं, शरीर बहुत ताकतवर है, कभी कभी मन ताकतवर हो जाता है. समटाइम वी कैनॉट फॉलो द प्रिंसिपल्स, वी शुड एक्सेप्ट दिस एंड वी शुड ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव. नॉट दैट प्राइड, कुछ फॉलो ही नहीं करता है और बहुत प्राइड है उसको. तो इंडिया में दिस थिंग्स आर क्वाइट देयर. In India, some people do not follow, but they have a lot of pride because they're born in Brahmin family. They follow certain things and then they say that I follow everything. So this pridelessness is also important. Non-violence. So these are the symptom of knowledge. If somebody is knowledgeable, it means he will feel in this way. I should be prideless. I should be humble. Non-violence is generally taken to mean not killing or destroying the body. But actually, non-violence means not to put others into distress. People in general are trapped by ignorance in material concept of life, and they are perpetually suffer material pain. So unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. What is this violence? Everybody is doing violence. Guru na sasya, swajano na sasya, pati na sasya, janani na sasya. Na mochayeda samupayetu mrityum. If a leader is not capable of uplifting, not capable, we not say capable, if not doing it, capable is another thing. If a leader is not uplifting the dependent from this material world, freeing him from clutches of Maya, he should not be taking that position of guru, mother, father, demigod. He should not take such position. So that is a violence. So violence means this thing. So see, these school people, they are doing violence on children. They are not teaching them spiritual education, and they are spoiling their tendency to serve. And so that is spiritual, this is violence actually. This is really violence. And if some people, some devotees, they go and say that we want to teach, they don't allow only. They say that, no, we want to make it secular. That is violence actually. You are not able to uplift, at least those who can uplift, they should be allowed. So one should elevate people to spiritual knowledge. Otherwise, he's practicing violence. Somebody sleeping and he's supposed to wake up for Aarti, morning Aarti. And some devotee say, get up, what are you doing? Now get up. Now that is again not a violence. That is important because that he's missing his Aarti. He should be woken up. Yeah, if he's a Sikh, he has come late in night, that time is a different thing. But if it is a regular day, then he should be woken up. That is not a violence. If a child is sleeping and father is saying, get up, I'll put water on you, get up now. And Papa, you are very strict, you never allow me to sleep. Immediately he should be gotten up. Why? Otherwise will be violence. So Prabhupada's way of defining the things is very important because he's not going to do his duty. Arjuna is not he was not ready to do his duty. Krishna said, Klabhyam, Ma Samagama Partha, you are important. Get up. Uttishta. Uttishta. Jago. So therefore, that is if somebody is not giving such instructions and is a superior, then he is committing violence on his union. Again, there is an exception. I said already. If there is some trouble, one should worry about that. If there is no trouble, one should not sentimentally say, "Okay, keep sleeping, my dear boy. Uh, when I see you sleeping, I feel so nice. Your face is so lovely face. Keep sleeping." But this is violence actually. Okay, one should try his best to distribute real knowledge to the people so that they may become enlightened and leave the material entanglement. This is non-violence. So Prabhupada says preaching is non-violence actually. Tolerance means that one should practice to bear insult and dishonor from others. If one is engaged in the advancement of spiritual knowledge, there will be so many insults and much dishonor from others. This is expected because material nature is so constituted. Even a boy like Prahlad, who only 5 years old, was engaged in cultivation of spiritual knowledge, was endangered when his father became antagonistic to his devotion. The father tried to kill him in so many ways, but Prahlad tolerated him. So there may be many impediments to making advancement in spiritual knowledge, but one should be tolerant and continue our progress with determination. तो ये यहाँ पे क्लियरली मेंशन किया है कि टॉलरेंस किसमें चाहिए. कृपा जी बताते हैं कि one should not get disturbed in doing one's spiritual duties or material duties both. The tolerance we require for that. Like somebody is disturbing our mind and we are not able to do our duty. And again, we cannot chastise that person. So then we should think that I should become more tolerant. Or even if you can chastise that person, but again we are disturbed, then we should think, why I am getting disturbed? I have to do my duty. So many times in preaching, success does not come. And so many people, they oppose. So that time one should be tolerant. We should be tolerant and continue our progress with determination. So tolerance and determination is important. Simplicity means without diplomacy. One should be so straightforward that he can disclose the truth, real truth, even to his enemy. As for the acceptance of the spiritual master, that is essential, because without instruction of a spiritual master, okay, that is different. Simplicity Prabhupada से straightforward होना चाहिए. तो दुश्मन को भी सत्य बता देते. That is what actually India was so, you can say sometimes people say, oh, like Dronacharya, in Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Dronacharya, my Gurudev, can you let me know how you will be killed? And he said how he will be killed. Dronacharya, Bhishma, they all revealed their secret of getting killed. Then somebody may say, oh, what is this? Murkh hai kya? Even Bhagavad Gita beginning, you find Dronacharya taught the knowledge to Drishtadumna. Now Duryodhana is in one way criticizing his Gurudev, saying, Gurudev, you did not think he was going to kill you and you gave him the knowledge of killing you. So diplomacy is not there. Simplicity is there. The Vedic culture was a training of simplicity actually. This is very, very important. This simplicity बहुत important है. Straightforward. Like somebody is glorifying a person. You find in 4th canto Prithu Maharaj was glorified. And then he was very straightforward. He said, why are you glorifying me? I did not do anything. Before doing anything, you are glorifying. So actually, before doing anything, somebody glorifies, that is sometimes considered insult. It means he's saying that actually I have no other words to glorify you right now. But if you do those things, then I can glorify you. So therefore, I am saying these things. So it means he's saying you are not been glorified for what you have been. You will be glorified when you do something. So bolo hi mat usko. So I saw sometimes one person, like a straightforward person, somebody glorified him. Oh, you are this, you are this. So he did not feel very, very nice because he was directly focused. जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उससे ऊपर बोलो तो बात ठीक है, जो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ क्यों बोल रहे हो उसको. Straight forward, simplicity, no diplomacy. In Vaishnava circle, sometimes glorification is there. So sometimes devotee also say, अरे मैंने वो नहीं किया है, या मैं वो पहले करता था अभी वो नहीं हूँ मैं. So that time also one should be careful. Every Vaishnava will not like such things. Because sometimes they are also very clear. I have not done, then why you are glorifying? So as for acceptance of a spiritual master, the simplicity, Prabhupada here mentions basically in character. स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, डिस्क्लोज द रियल ट्रूथ इवन टू द एनिमी, है कि नहीं? तो विदाउट डिप्लोमेसी, देन व्हाट डू मीन बाय सेल विल बिकम डिप्लोमेट और नॉट? डिप्लोमेसी करनी चाहिए कि नहीं करनी चाहिए? सिंप्लिसिटी करना है तो फिर डिप्लोमेसी, तो डिप्लोमेसी का भी कहीं पे जगह पे काम आता है, और सिंप्लिसिटी का तो है ही। तो डिप्लोमेसी हु कैन डू? क्षत्रियस दे डू डिप्लोमेसी। सिंप्लिसिटी हु कैन फॉलो? ब्राह्मणस दे फॉलो सिंप्लिसिटी। वैश्य कैनॉट फॉलो सिंप्लिसिटी। वैश्य कैनॉट से कितने रुपए का खरीदा है? अरे 40 रुपए का खरीदा है, तो 100 रुपए का क्यों बेच रहा है? अभी तुमने बोला ना, तो मैंने बोल दिया सत्य, तो उसको मिलेगा ही नहीं 100 रुपए, क्योंकि वो उसको सिंप्लिसिटी फॉलो किया, तो उसका बिकेगा ही नहीं सामान। क्षत्रिय भी, अगर उसको पता नहीं है साम दाम दंड भेद, दिस इज कॉल्ड डिप्लोमेसी, तो क्षत्रिय हैज टू फॉलो डिप्लोमेसी, ब्राह्मण हैज टू फॉलो सिंप्लिसिटी। At the same time, can Kshatriya always be diplomat? No, he cannot be always diplomat. Can a Vaishya be always be diplomat? No. So therefore, the Brahmana is the ideal in society. He follows all the time simplicity, and others they follow sometimes simplicity. So these all qualities are taken on the highest pedestal. वहां से लेके बताया जा रहा है कि सिंप्लिसिटी फॉलो करना चाहिए, एंड देन वन हैज टू फॉलो अकॉर्डिंग टू वंस प्रोफेशनल लाइफ एंड these things. One has to follow accordingly. Spiritual master, one has to accept. Without instruction of bona fide spiritual master, one cannot progress in the spiritual science. One should approach a spiritual master with all humility and offer him all services, so that he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon the disciples. Because a bona fide spiritual master is a representative of a Krishna. If he bestows any blessings upon a disciple, that will make the disciple immediately advance without disciples following the regulatory principle. Just see. उसने रेगुलेटरी प्रिंसिपल फॉलो भी नहीं किया, अब मर्सी मिल गया उसको, कृपा मिल गया, तो एडवांस हो जाएगा। और द रेगुलेटरी प्रिंसिपल विल बी इजियर फॉर वन हु सर्व द स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर विदाउट रिजर्वेशन। सो इफ वी आर नॉट एबल टू मेनी टाइम फॉलो रेगुलेटरी प्रिंसिपल, अपने 16 माला, 4 नियम, या कोई भी भगवान की सेवा में नहीं कर पाते, तो हमें समझना चाहिए मुझे गुरु की मर्सी चाहिए। गुरु की मर्सी नहीं है, इसलिए मुश्किल हो रहा है फॉलो करने में, तो गुरु की कृपा चाहिए, and then one can advance. It means, it is said, regulative principle does not make you advance. What makes you advance? The kripa. Regulative principles, they can assist you in making advancement, but the real cause of making advancement is kripa, spiritual master. So if spiritual master instructions are there and his kripa, both are there, important. One should approach with humility. So this is acharyopasanam, cleanliness is essential for making advancement in spiritual life. There are two kinds of cleanliness, external and internal. External means bathing, and internal means thinking always of Krishna. So cleanness is important also. Actually, clean clothes, clean home, clean cabin. Sometimes even cabins are also not clean. Offices and homes. Homes are generally clean because generally it is seen the women, they are fond of cleanliness very much, and they do the cleanliness very nicely. And the men, they are mostly unclean. देखा जाता है कहीं, लेकिन ऐसा क्यों होता है? Because if men have been trained properly in under Guru, so in Gurukulas, the cleanliness was always been taken care. So Guru, actually in Gurukula, that is schedule is there in Gurukulas for cleanliness. All the children have to do cleanliness every day. Every day they have to clean the ashram. Every day they have to clean the field or yagisala. Every day that used to happen, actually. The cleanliness training has to be given, actually. This training is so important. You just find when children, they grown up and then they go to colleges, you just go and see their hostel one day, their hostel rooms. You'll find so dirty. क्यों? वो घर से उसको सफाई करने का सिखाते नहीं है लोग। वो घर में उसको झाड़ू पकड़ा देना चाहिए, एक दिन बच्चे का क्लीनिंग होना चाहिए, झाड़ू पोछा सब बच्चे को एक दिन ट्रेनिंग जरूरी है, नहीं तो वो कॉलेज में जाएगा तो कभी नहीं क्लीन करने वाला है। तो दिस इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट ट्रेनिंग, If he's not going to Gurukula and getting trained, then at home one should train that he should clean. And he should have feeling of living in clean environment. These are the principle required for hygiene also. Otherwise, how many times one has to tell, अरे हाथ धो के खाओ, अरे हाथ तो धो लो, अरे कैसी जगह पे रहता है, अरे पैंट शर्ट को धोता नहीं है, वही पहना रहता है, कितने दिन तक पहना रहेगा। अभी लोग इतने लेजी हो गए हैं। वॉशिंग मशीन आने से क्या है, घर में आदत हो जाती है, कपड़े फेंक दो, कपड़े धुल धुल के आ जाएंगे। अभी बाहर जाएगा तो वो सोचेगा लॉन्ड्री कहाँ मिलेगा, लॉन्ड्री में भी भेज के दो, खुद कभी कपड़े नहीं धोएगा। खुद कभी कपड़े नहीं धोएगा। Like one girl, she was when we were taking value education long back during Corona time. So then that girl was asked, a small girl, 5th, 6th class, have you washed your vessels any times? Means your plate. Oh, I have never washed my plates after eating. I just put in my dishwash. So then dishwash. So then that brahmachari was not knowing what is a dishwash. So he said, can you click a picture of dishwash and show me what is this? I have never seen dishwash. So then she clicked the photo and showed dishwash. Anyway, that was a small girl. But the कहने का मतलब है कि इतना ज़्यादा फैसिलिटी हो गया है कि बर्तन धोने के लिए भी मशीन है। लेकिन मशीन हम कहाँ कहाँ कैरी करेंगे? हाउ लॉन्ग एंड वेयर वी विल कैरी? And that is a cause of uncleanness then, because we have not learned cleaning. Earlier they used to mop by bending with a small with the cloth को ऐसे पोछा मारते थे। अभी कोई झुकता ही नहीं है, वो खड़े खड़े पोछा, वो डंडा वाला पोछा रहता है। वो डंडे वाले पोछे में कोई रगड़ता नहीं है, बस उसको घुमाता है, आगे पीछे घूमता रहता है। तो when we were trained in beginning days in ashram, so that time we were having the down, वो झुक के पोछा मारने वाला, तो ताकत लगती थी उसमें। अभी डंडा आ गया है तो डंडे से पोछा मारते हैं व्यक्ति। Anyway, whatever way cleaning has to be maintained, the whole principle is that. Because cleanliness is next to godliness, it is said. And many times it affects our consciousness. If you are not clean, then other things also follows, means the way of talking, the way of behaving also unclean होता है धीरे धीरे। और कलयुग में क्लीननेस अनक्लीननेस बहुत बढ़ गया। द रीजन इज पीपल डोंट स्टे एट वन प्लेस, दे कीप ऑन ट्रैवलिंग। सो उससे क्या होता है, यू कैन नॉट कीप योर थिंग्स फिक्स्ड अप। You are going in bus, that is unclean. You are going in office, that is unclean. You are touching something, that is unclean. Most of the places unclean. And that's why the person's mind become unclean. उसका माइंड एकदम हो जाता है कि हर चीज अनक्लीन है ना। बाहर जैसे ही जाओगे पूरा अनक्लीन है, कुछ भी चीज को छुओगे अनक्लीन है। Too much movement is happening in the world. That is why uncleanness is also increasing. This process cleans the dust of the, so the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mentioned. Steadiness. The ones who chant the holy name, yes. So for non-devotees, it's very, very important. Many times non-devotees are clean. IT company is very, very clean. But what they do inside IT company? Unclean heart. Heart is not clean. So many times, then they develop the bad habits. Steadiness means one should be very determined to make progress in spiritual life. That is called steadiness. So the word used for steadiness is sthairiyam. Socham is word for cleanliness. Arjun was for simplicity. Shantir for tolerance. Ahimsa, non-violence. Amanitvam, pridelessness. Adambitvam is pridelessness. Amanitvam is humility. Sthairiyam. So sthairiyam is required for making progress in spiritual life. Sometime early waking, sometime late waking, or sometime is not able to maintain the steadiness in spiritual life. Without such determination, one cannot make tangible progress. Steadiness is very, very important actually. Steadiness is a quality of Brahmana actually. He is very much steady. मतलब उसको देखो एकदम मशीन की तरह काम करता है ब्राह्मण। जो रियल ब्राह्मण एकदम मशीन की तरह, सुबह उठेंगे ये काम करेंगे, फिर दूसरा तीसरा, टाइम शेड्यूल फिक्स है, कुछ हिलता जुलता नहीं, एज इट इज। Brahminical mindset people, steadiness, very determined to make progress in spiritual life. So Prabhupada nicely described this steady. Then comes Atma Vinigraha, the self-control. Self-control means one should not accept anything which is detrimental to the path of spiritual progress. Yes, this is also important. Like anything which is not helping or it is against spiritual progress, one should not accept. So that is why this is called knowledge. Knowledge means self-control. Knowledge means steadiness. अगर कोई knowledgeable है मतलब वो steady होगा. Will be determined to make progress. अगर कोई knowledgeable है मतलब वो self-control होगा. कोई knowledgeable है मतलब वो clean होगा. ये knowledge का मतलब है. Knowledge मतलब qualities mention. Self-control. Self-control means if somebody is knowledgeable, he should think whether I am knowledgeable or not. Means I have to follow the self-control. I have to control myself. And one should become accustomed to this. Reject anything which is against the path of spiritual progress. Yes. This is called renunciation. This is the real renunciation. So Atma Vinigraha is a self-control. Indriyartheshu Vairagyam is renunciation. The senses are so strong, they are always anxious to have sense gratification. One should not cater to these demands which are not necessary. The senses should only be gratified to keep the body fit, and one can discharge a duty in advancing spiritual life. What is that sloka? That is sloka either Srimad Bhagavatam. जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा न अर्थ एयस चैह कर्म भी. जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा. कामस्य नेन्द्रिय प्रीति लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थ यश्चेह कर्म भी. How much one should satisfy one's sensuous desires or sense gratification desire to that much extent which can help a person to keep his body fit and healthy. क्योंकि ये शरीर ये बैग है. This is a bag. This is not, we are not this body. So इस बॉडी को जितना हेल्दी रखने के लिए चाहिए उतना देना चाहिए. इसलिए व्यक्ति को हेल्थ पे कंसर्न रखना चाहिए कि हेल्थ किससे सही रहेगा. हेल्थ का मतलब ये नहीं कि टेस्टलेस और नॉन पैलेटेबल. नो, पैलेटेबल आल्सो एंड टेस्ट विथ टेस्ट आल्सो एंड हेल्दी आल्सो, ऑल. बट हेल्थ इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू कीप द बॉडी फिट. बॉडी शुड बी फिट. तो उतना सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन होना चाहिए जिससे. इसलिए देखो लाइक इन ऑल आवर इंडियन कल्चर, so whatever things were made at homes, the children were told कि ये खाओ इससे तुम्हारा हेल्थ अच्छा रहेगा. हमेशा लोग माँ बाप पेरेंट्स बोलते थे you have to eat this because this will help you to make your health okay. Now nobody will give pizza and say my child I made pizza, this will keep your health very good, eat. कभी नहीं बोलेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि वो हेल्थ के लिए है ही नहीं. ठंडी हो गया, गर्मी हो गया, बरसात हो गया, whatever is made with a proper understanding, yes, this will keep the health of family nice. चाहे पूड़ी हो गया, हलवा हो गया. जैसे बरसात, in rainy season people eat pakoda. So pakoda is good. Now in the summer season people may eat छाछ और छाछ दही. What दही तो नहीं, छाछ. So then it's for cooling. In winter season people may eat til ka laddu. So it will create heat in the winter. So certain kind of foodstuffs are there for winter, certain are for summer, certain are for rainy season. So those things are allowed for maintaining the body. Now somebody wants to eat ice cream in winter. Then again, ice cream in winter is not helpful. Okay, sometime is okay. One is not worried too much. But one has to also see that it should not be against the zone of non-goodness, like somebody eating meat because he wants to eat meat. So that should not be, that is sinful. But sometimes ऊपर नीचे ठीक है, समझ में आता है, चलता है. लेकिन ultimate concern should be one should keep his senses gratified to the extent his body is fit, and so that one can discharge a duty in advancing spiritual life. Body should be fit. One should not go against the health. The most important and uncontrollable sense is tongue. If one can control the tongue, then there is every possibility of controlling other senses. The function of tongue is to taste and vibrate. The systematic regulation. The tongue should always be engaged in tasting the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna. So these are the ways. As far as the eyes is concerned, they should not be allowed to see anything but the beautiful form of Krishna. That will be the control of eyes. Similarly, the ears should be engaged in hearing about Krishna. Nose in smelling the flower offered to Krishna. So these are the process of devotional service. It is understood here that Bhagavad Gita is simply expounding the science of devotional service. Just see, this is a purport Prabhupada is writing in Bhagavad Gita, means eyes, the ears, the nose, how they should be utilized. So we know that many times we are not on the par, on the same level. So then one has to cultivate this habit so that this quality will develop. That is a self-control. Indriyaarthesu vairagyam. Renunciation of object of sense gratification. So one has to renounce the object of sense gratification by engaging the senses only in Krishna consciousness. The devotional service is the main and the sole objective. Unintelligent commentator on the Bhagavad Gita try to divert the mind of reader to other subjects, but there is no other subject in Bhagavad Gita than devotional service. Prabhupada is writing, there is no other subject than devotional service. Only unintelligent commentators they divert. So Prabhupada is bringing all the things, all the qualities in bhakti. Now, next is ahankara, anahankara evacha. Anahankar means opposite of ahankar. Ahankar is false ego. Means accepting this body as oneself. When one understands this body, when he understands that he is not this body and spirit soul, he comes to the real ego. Ego is there, false ego is condemned, but real ego is not condemned. So what is the real ego? Prabhupada is saying, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the spirit. I am the self, the sense of self also exists in the liberated stage of self-realization. This sense of I am the ego, but when the sense of I am is applied to the false body is a false ego. So like that. So what is the ego? Basically, all wrong designation we have in this world. So that is a false ego. So one has to become free from ahankar. See, ahankar is important. All kind of fights happen because of ahankar, ego. So one has to understand, अरे इतना अहंकार क्यों करना, छोड़ दो, दास बन जाओ, be servant, leave it. Like this is quite commonly seen. Some elderly people, they immediately stop fight. मतलब जब दो में fight होता है, भाई इतना क्यों झगड़ा करना है, शांति शांति शांति, क्या हो गया क्या हो गया, because they want to remove the ahankar. Ahankar should not be there. Ahankar means we are identifying with certain opinion, with certain kind of understanding, and then fighting. So then they stop it. And the ahankar which happens day-to-day life or every time, that is ahankar with the body. So all kind of problems in material life is there because of ahankar. Ahankar, because it is creating our platform for body to enjoy, body to think, mind to think for enjoyment. So all thing is beginning from ahankar only. Ahankar. So surely ahankar is not very easy to give up. It slowly goes away when one becomes Krishna conscious. Aham Brahmasmi. One should try to understand the distress of accepting birth, death, old age and disease. So these are the distress. इसको क्या बोला गया? जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम. So this has to be understood as a dukkha. Who can see? One who has knowledge. Therefore, this is the element of knowledge. So seeing Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi as a dukkha, this is a knowledge. जन्म लेना, मरना, बुढ़ापा, बीमारी, इसको दुख के रूप में समझना, ये ज्ञान है. या ज्ञान नहीं है, ज्ञान है. Some people say, what is the problem? I can take birth. There is no problem. I can die. No problem. I can become old age. No problem. So they are not understanding. They don't have knowledge. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the world of unborn, the child stays in the womb of mother, its suffering are all very graphically described. It should be thoroughly understood that birth is distressful, because we forget how much distress we have suffered within the womb of mother. We do not make any solution to the repetition of birth and death. Similarly, at the death, there are all kind of suffering. They are also mentioned in the authoritative scriptures. These should be discussed. But as far as disease and old age are concerned, everyone gets practical experience. No one wants to get diseased. No one wants to become old. But there is no avoiding these. Unless we have pessimistic view of material life, considering the distress of birth, death, old age, disease, there is no impetus for making advancement in spiritual life. Just see, becoming pessimistic in this world, taking four things. Ki I have to die one day, I have to get diseased one day, I have to get old one day, I have to take new birth one day. ये सोच सोच के व्यक्ति को भक्ति में एडवांस करना चाहिए। मतलब पेसिमिस्टिक संसार ही है, हमारा डेस्टिनी पेसिमिस्टिक है। We all have to die one day. So spiritual advancement को प्रभुपाद बोले, there is no impetus for our making a spiritual advancement unless one is pessimistic about birth, death, old age and disease. Pessimistic view. Jnanis, they are too much frustrated, and therefore they take to renunciation. But a real yogi, a real devotee should understand कि yes, there is no solution for these things. I have to also undergo, and that is the impetus for me to practice spiritual life. Otherwise, Krishna might not have given such problems in life of a conditioned soul. If there was no goal to achieve in the life, otherwise, why the person has to get old and disease? Why? Some person could say, hey, Krishna, you have to give me karma only. Na? Then give me another life where I can just tolerate my karma, and give me another life where I can enjoy my whole life. Don't mix up. दोनों mix up मत करो. इंजॉय कर रहा हो तो बोल रहा मरना है, इंजॉय कर रहा हूं तो बोल रहा डिजीज होना, ये क्या मतलब है? जस्ट गिव अ लाइफ वेयर आई विल सफर एंड गिव अ लाइफ वेयर आई विल एंजॉय. This does not happen. A person has to make progress in spiritual life. As for detachment from children, wife, home, it is not meant that one should have no feeling for them. They are natural object of affection, but when they are not favorable to spiritual progress, then one should not be attached to them. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy, because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. Then Prabhupada says four things. One need only chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, accept remnants of food stuff offered to Krishna, have some discussion on the book like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and engage oneself in deity worship. These four things will make one happy. One should train the members of his family in this way. The family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together Hare Krishna mantra. And if one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these four principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. But if it is not congenial, not favorable for spiritual advancement, then family life should be abandoned. One must sacrifice everything to realize or serve Krishna, just as Arjuna did. Arjuna did not want to kill his family members, but he understood that these family members were impediment to his Krishna the realization, and he accepted the instruction of Krishna and fought and killed them. In all cases, one should be detached from happiness and distress of family life, because in this world, one can never be fully happy or fully miserable. But this is mentioned for the family life also, that if a family life is cooperative in Krishna consciousness, that is very happy family life. And for that family, he should not take, or she should not take sannyas, anything, renounce life. One should just continue that family life and making more and more dedicated progress in Krishna consciousness. One will advance. Prabhupada says that many other places also. Like he says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his wife and his mother, they were very much subservient, very loving. So he could not have taken sannyas. There was nothing lacking, but he took sannyas for others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, but here Prabhupada writes here that Prabhupada also writes the renounced life when it comes many times, because the family life becomes very intolerable. When family life becomes very intolerable, the person becomes frustrated. Then he thinks that let me go somewhere else. Let me live my life for my right purpose. Actually, family life should be happy family life. Otherwise, Chanakya Pandit says that going to forest will be more happy than being in the family. And nowadays, this thing is happening. Like many people say that when they are in their jobs, they are more happy before they come to home. If they come to home, then a lot of trouble comes. People say like that. Why? Because this training has to be given for good family life. And Prabhupada is saying this spiritual training here. One need to chant holy name, one is to, but again the question comes, these 4 items which Prabhupada says, prasad khana, naam jap karna, deity worship करना, भागवत पढ़ना, इसके लिए दो दो व्यक्ति जिनका दिमाग सेम इंटरेस्ट का हो, जिनका अंडरस्टैंडिंग सेम इंटरेस्ट का हो, those who are in sober mindset, they can only do these things. All people cannot do. All people cannot do. They will fight. Their interests are not on same platform. So then this training has to be given beforehand. Not that one should get married and then start doing this. What before marriage? Before marriage, they do not know. So they, before marriage also, they should be nice, sober people, and then they get married and then they follow these things. Then the family life becomes a happy family. It means the training has to be given from childhood, how to live a life. Then the same life continues. This is what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada's family life was also disturbed because his wife was not following principles. His wife was not helping in his business also. Prabhupada said, send the servant to company or in Lucknow, I need the servant. Wife said, I need him for my homely duties. I cannot send him. Prabhupada was saying, Prabhupada then said, Are, my wife is not helping me in preaching business, in practicing Krishna consciousness, and not even helping in my own business, then why I should be at home? I should leave my home. And Prabhupada has also urged to follow the instruction of Guru Maharaj. So therefore he left. So the whole understanding is the family life is meant to make spiritual advancement together. And one should not disturb each other. One should not be envious of each other. Why you are not becoming materialist? Why you are becoming devotee? So then this kind of comparison, then ultimately it is not conducive. This is what mentioned here. So this is also, one should be non-attached. So non-attached in the family life, one should be non-attached. Means one should not have no feelings, but one should understand that everyone is a property of Krishna, and everyone is meant to spread, make spiritual advancement. So everyone should be taught in the family how to make a spiritual advancement. And this is the non-attachment. Non-attachment to what? Attachment actually applies to material life. Attachment does not apply to spiritual life. Means there's no, if somebody is attached to spiritual life, that is very good. There is no question of attachment. That is a natural. But attachment to material life is problemsome. That creates whole problem. So if somebody is advancing in spiritual life, then it is very good. At the same time, one is also not becoming so transcendental. One should also be taking care of the duties, his duties. So both are managed properly, then it's okay. Happiness and distress are concomitant factors of material life. One should learn to tolerate as advised in Bhagavad Gita. So this is, the previous one was asaktir anabhishwangaha putradara grihadishu. Asakti. Asakti means detachment, and then freedom from entanglement with children, home, wife, and the rest. Now we are reading another quality, even-mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events. Nityam sa samachittatvam ishthanishto papattishu. So जो भी समचित्वत्वम, ऑलवेज समचित होना चाहिए व्यक्ति को, तो वो प्रपात बता रहे इष्ट अनिष्ट, चाहे गलत हो चाहे अच्छा हो, अनडिजायरेबल हो या डिजायरेबल हो, वन शुड बी equipoised. Happiness and distress are concomitant factor in material life. One should learn to tolerate. So see, tolerate came before also. That was shantir. Shantir means tolerate. Now that tolerate was what? Insult and dishonor one has to tolerate. उधर क्या बोला था? इंसल्ट और डिसऑनर को टॉलरेट करना. इधर क्या बोला है? हैप्पीनेस एंड डिस्ट्रेस को टॉलरेट करना. उधर इंसल्ट एंड dishonor हो रहा था, given by some person, and here the life itself in material world is very troublesome. One has to so many happiness and distress keep coming. So one has to tolerate. And one should be detached from the materialistic way of life and be automatically equipoised in both the cases. Just see, it's so important actually. Many people have to learn this thing because material upheavals sometimes they disturb a person so much. किसी का जॉब चला गया, किसी का फैमिली में कोई मर गया, तो माइंड एकदम दुखी हो जाता है. So one has to understand material life itself is a very troublesome life. So it is a materialistic way of life से हमें detach रहना चाहिए. And that's why for all these things guru is required. Generally when we get something desirable we are happy, and when we get something undesirable we get distressed. But if we are actually in the spiritual position, these things will not agitate us. To reach to that stage we have to practice unbreakable devotional service. Prabhupada says when we can become equipoised, we have to practice unbreakable devotional service. The devotional service to Krishna without deviation means engaging oneself in 9 processes of devotional service. It means if one is becoming disturbed, then one has to hear more, he has to chant more, or at least whatever rounds he is chanting, chant with in association with devotees, with more earnest desire to attain lotus feet of Krishna. One has to chant and one has to read, one has to hear, so that one can make one's mind peaceful. ठीक है, टाइम हो गया है. So we have completed 15th. So we'll go ahead in next class. Any question? Question है किसी को? No question. We'll end here. Srila Prabhupada की जय. Hare Krishna. Ashish Prabhu, I expect that devotees should switch on their videos, because in meantime when we called the name they were not there. So
Yes.
if the devotees are there, if they are listening, I say that sometimes what happens, you may join before and then you are not really joined. ठीक है, कभी कभी होता है. I understand. But again, when you join it, you open your videos so that we know that you are there. So we have to be simple, not diplomat. Huh?
Sure. I'll talk to devotees personally, Prabhuji. So some devotees, I see that they never switch on. So I'll talk to them.
And I was saying that I will send the answer. So, okay, today you will get the answer. I have completed more than half. So I will send the answer for demigod worship. I will send the answer today. Okay.
Yeah.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
And Shri
Hare
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.